Hey everyone, welcome to Binge Time. This episode is about Jeffrey Epstein, kind of how he became famous and his wealth.
I'm Cheyenne.
And I'm Malachi.
A special thanks to Silver Sky Woodworking for their support of our channel. Without them, it would be impossible to record this. If any of our listeners need custom furniture, accent walls, cutting boards, custom cabinets, they should head over to viridiannews.org and click the link for Silver Sky.
And we're always looking for new sponsors, so let us know at viridiannews.org if you would like to be a part of our work and reach our audience. That is VIRIDIAN news.org.
Disclaimer, this episode talks about assault and abuse of minors. If these things are triggering to you, do not continue listening. So the first episode is like him getting interrogated by lawyers, and it's like, oh, have you been charged for any crimes? He's like, yeah, soliciting prostitution and procuring a minor for prostitution. So saying like he got other like little girls to get girls to, for money.
Go massage.
To every single question about the charges, he's just going to say, I invoke my Fifth Amendment right for every single question. A journalist, Vicky Ward, she was asked to, write about him and, how he became famous because nobody really knew, because it was just, he was new money, he was a big name for an unknown reason.
And so she had interviewed these sisters back in 1989 that had originally, got an FBI report because what had happened at Jeffrey's estate. But the FBI was like, oh no, let's not do that. Jeffrey Epstein's a big name. People were scared of him. He owned governments in cities and police departments. And so their report just got blown off basically. And they were like, wow, we really can't mess with this guy. So Jeffrey started calling private investigators to go to their houses and look at them and find stuff about them to blackmail or even do worse. And so one of the sisters just started moving around the country 12 times talking.
Yeah, because they had been abused by him, and Vicky, the journalist, had found out, but her publishing office or whatever, they wouldn't let her publish that article. Everybody's so scared of him, he's so powerful, he's got so much money, whatever. But he had moved to Palm Beach, Florida, because it's private, it's an island, he would just be able to do whatever he want without the consequences. So
because everybody's rich, rich people usually have stuff to hide.
Yeah. And he had bought an island and a private jet and everything. He would traffic these girls, and he would promise them he would give them money. He would promise them to get into their dream college and their dream job, anything they ever wanted. And all these girls were either recruited by his supposed girlfriend Ghislaine or their friends that were recruited by Ghislaine as well. The FBI actually got a search warrant to search his apartment, I think in New York, but somebody had tipped him off and was like, oh yeah, they're coming to search your house or whatever. So they went in there, they found naked pictures of minors and stuff, and they were saying how computers and hard drives have been taken, and it was just very suspicious. And he probably trafficked more than 20 different girls, and it's just very sad to think about because
definitely, because it was oh, he would get those first 2 girls, and then it'd be they would become recruiters and get maybe 4 girls. Because I remember one of the girls, she was oh yeah, I definitely recruited or got at least 40 to 60 girls to come, and she made because they were getting paid $200 just to get girls over there. She made thousands of dollars doing that.
They would start out by massaging him. They would be oh, you're just gonna massage this guy, and then because they usually came from they're poor, they came from bad situations, or it already happened to them. So they think that they're just going in to massage him, and then get paid. Whenever it finally got out, the police were getting statements from the girls, but they were also victim blaming and being well, you're a prostitute, whatever, you should have just said no, whatever. But it's very hard to do that.
Yeah, especially when you're 14, 15, 16. Exactly.
And there's this grown 50-year-old man doing this to you, it's hard.
Yeah, that's known for having wealth, and people with wealth and you don't have wealth, that's just he could have so many better lawyers. He had a whole lawyer team of the best lawyers in the country.
And he was friends with Prince Andrew, Bill Clinton, Alan Dershowitz, and a lawyer, and Donald Trump, all these famous people. And it was so he knew all these people so that he would never get in trouble. And it's very disappointing to know if you have money you can get away with anything.
this shows how much power you can have in America just by being wealthy. And Jeffrey he came from like a very like middle class family, and he wasn't like known for being like really rich. He didn't even go to college. He didn't have a degree, and he wanted to become a professor, but he didn't have a degree, so he lied on his resume, which got him the job, and then they figured out. So he left the job, and then he got another job doing like stocks at some random place that he also lied to about his resume, and they found out. But they were holding like a scheme, and they were like, wow, if this young like 25-year-old kid can just like lie to us to our faces and do all these good scams, he's gonna do well in our little scheme. So they were like, oh yeah, we gotta keep him, because he was a very good manipulator. Jeffrey Epstein was pretty intelligent for like, he was a bad person, but he was very intelligent for what he had been able to do to get his wealth.
And like he actually had he wasn't sentenced yet, but he was charged, and like he was in jail, and like while he was waiting for his sentencing, and like he actually ended up it says that he killed himself
in his jail cell by hanging him.
And it's just a very crazy thing to happen. Like the amount of girls that he got, like the amount of girls that he got to do, like he did this to, and like got to bring from everywhere, like all types of girls, like, and then like some of them actually managed to escape, because the first one, like she was a recruiter, she was sent to Rome or something, and she met her husband, and then like they ran away together, and she was like, Jeffrey, I'm not coming back, and he was so mad about it and stuff, but he never found her. But of course, like after he had killed himself, like the victims were very upset about it. They were like, oh, there's no justice being served, like he just got off easy and whatever. So I guess they felt they didn't have any closure in the end, because I mean there was none. Like he killed himself, so it's not like they don't feel any satisfaction.
Yeah, and it was like he was old, so he lived like most of his life.
But honestly, either way, like he's not doing it anymore.
But still.
But which I'm pretty glad about, because it's very sad to me.
I mean, I don't think you could get away with it nowadays. Maybe with his wealth, but now that social media is in,
yeah,
like,
and like cancel culture and stuff, like bro would be canceled in a second.
he wouldn't make it with social media.
Yeah.
That's probably why he did have so much success, not only with his wealth and fame, but like there was no like easy way to get information quickly back then. Now I can just go on my phone and research literally everything about Jeffrey Epstein that he's done.
But anyways, we want to thank you guys for listening. Jeffrey was definitely like a master manipulator who just got whatever he wanted no matter what. And
next time we'll be talking about Mr. and Mrs. Smith, starring
Donald Glover and Maya from Pen 15. If you've watched that, you know. So hopefully it'll be good. What's the time? Binge time!